All right, today's video is going to be about the kettlebell swing. And so what I'd like to do here over the next several minutes is talk about some of the common cues we use, as well as the common things we see once someone starts to get the kettlebell swing. And by common things, I mean parts of the swing that aren't necessarily terrible, but not great as far as doing the swing really well. The swing has lots of components to it. It's explosive, it's not very slow, and so you kind of don't have time to think about the things that you learn from your coach or from a video or for some textbook to kind of correct. And so I expect someone who's learning the swing for the first time to take quite a while to start swinging pretty well. And so when someone's learning the swing, we should use a pretty light weight, one that probably actually is too light for the athlete, just so they can kind of mess up without too much consequence, and then slowly start to build off of some of the core principles, and then really start to nitpick and make the swing better. And that's the whole point. The swing is kind of sloppy and weird for a little while, and then it's your job as the athlete, and then if you have a coach, for your coach to make it even better. And I see lots of really good swings in the gym or across the country, but I know their swings could be better with a little bit more cueing or tinkering. So let's just remember that the kettlebell swing is a ballistic, it's an explosive hip hinge movement. And it is a hip hinge movement. It's not a squat pattern. So at the very basic human movement pattern, we're talking about the hinge, or the hips rather, going back and coming forward. So we're going into flexion and we're quickly moving them into extension. It's just like if you were going to jump up as high as you can, but with keeping your feet on the ground and happening to swing a weight in between your legs. So we're not doing these squats or these kind of funny swings with a bunch of knee flexion. The knees will naturally bend, but really it's just the hips coming back and forward as we hinge, okay? So let's just do, I'm just gonna show 5 reps and kind of show you what it looks like, and we'll break it down into a few parts that I think people kind of can use some work. So kettlebell swing, nice deep breath in, breathe into those hips, good starting rep. So, those are probably pretty good swings, I hope, by now. I'm sure if we slowed it down, I could find some parts that I still need to work on. I've done thousands and thousands and thousands of swings, and I still feel like there's parts where I'm not breathing at the right spot. I can be a little bit more patient. Ooh, that wasn't that deep of a swing, but I'm pretty happy with it. When people start to swing a little bit more, we really want to think about the setup and the finish, okay? Not worrying about too much of what's happening in the middle. If you're too close to your kettlebell, it's really hard to start your swing because you have no runway. You can't hike the bell and you can't come up, okay? So first things first, I like to kick the kettlebell towards me and step away from it. So I have a nice long runway like I'm snapping a football for a professional football team. Some people will still just start like this here, that's fine, as long as you're far enough away to give yourself a good hike position. And all you need to think about is extending your hips as fast and as quickly and as safely as possible. The kettlebell is going to come with. Don't try to use your arm strength to move that kettlebell up. The kettlebell only comes up because I've extended my hips sharply and with some strength. It comes up, it floats to the chest, and then what really happens is you're not trying to move that weight down. Gravity's going to do its thing. You own it for a second, let it float, it starts to come down, and then once that bell gets to about waist level, then you can go back into that deep hinge, and then you're back up. And then it's just wash, rinse, repeat, over and over and over again, okay? So stepping away from the kettlebell, a nice neutral spine, big sniff of air, patient, and then hinge. Okay? So if we can think about the setup, a nice tall plank at the top, being patient at the end of that swing, I think those are the few cues that I think I see the most. Okay? And then also not worrying too much about what's happening in the middle, because that's going to happen real fast. You can't correct any of that in the moment. You have to know what to do before you get there. So bottom position, top position. Don't worry about what's happening in the middle. It's already going to happen before you can correct it. So if you can maintain this shape and this shape, everything else should fall into place. So grab a weight, have fun, get to it.